Hey, good day. Welcome to a quick episode of the Rob Report. How you doing today? Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrate Christmas, except Mike from the Humanistic Report, who's going to crap on Tulsi Gabbard because she mentioned about the love of Christ and all that stuff. Look, guys. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Joe Biden. But guys, stay in your own lane. I don't mess with you guys in your faith. The freedom to choose. You have the freedom to choose who you want to worship or serve. If you are motivated, inspired to serve my God because of how I live my life or the things he may have done for you, then that's your choice. But I'm not going to tell you, oh, Christianity is wrong, Hinduism wrong and stuff like that. I'm not doing none of that stuff. A lot of people, religions are the anchors, and it really keeps them sane. If you don't have a religion, that's okay with me too. I love you just the way you are. And that was the whole point about Tulsi Gabbard. But let me get off that. That's going to be another video. Mike, you're wrong for that. Anyway, Biden tries to explain why he would refuse to testify in the Senate impeachment trial. Now, Biden was questioned about whether he was going to appear in the impeachment trial if called on by the White House. Biden, once again, wants to say, don't look at me. Why y'all looking at me? Don't look at me and my stuff that I did. It's all about Trump and what he did. Let's stay on Trump. And some of you guys are so one-sided, so hacky, you're agreeing with this guy. Let's stay focused on Trump. Let's don't look at Joe Biden. Or some of you saying, we need to look at Joe Biden. Trump didn't do nothing wrong. I'm saying look at both of them. Look at both of them. I will continue to say if any crimes have been done, especially one where you are confessing in front of the Foreign Relationships or Foreign Affairs Committee about what you did to get an investigator to get fired and the tool that you use, then that need to be investigated. Whether you like it or not, Democrats, it need to be investigated. And you can't get mad at Trump because he looked into investigating the situation. But here's the point. Reading from Washington Post, it says Biden tries to explain why he will refuse to testify in the Senate impeachment trial. Former Vice President Joe Biden sought Saturday to explain why he would defy. Now, you want to get on Trump because he defied testimony in the House case. And now you want to get mad at Trump because he may defy testimony in the impeachment trial. My thing is, let the chips make. Call everybody in. And if anybody don't want to come and testify, then they need to do what they do with me if I don't come testify in court. Put a bench warrant out for me. Look for me, whatever. Well, let's keep going. Former Vice President Joe Biden sought Saturday to explain why he would defy, and if it's loud in here, I'm at a Dunkin' Donuts, people, defy a congressional subpoena if called to testify in a Senate trial of President Trump. Why would you defy a congressional subpoena? Why would you do that anyway? Why would you even mention doing that? Usually when you defy a subpoena, it's either you're afraid that there could be some truth laying down the line, or, maybe you feel like it's a witch hunt against you. The only witch hunt that I'm seeing is these people do anything to get Trump out of office. And normally, if we were in a country that's supposed to be about the laws, I would say, hey, do whatever you need to do to get this guy. I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm not a fan of Biden's. Okay? But I don't want to throw away our government trying to get this thing done. I don't think that's the right thing to do. All right? Let's say, explain why he would defy a congressional subpoena if called to testify in the Senate trial of President Trump, tweeting that he has always followed the law, but that there was no legal basis for him to be called as a witness in the impeachment proceeding. Yes, it is, dummy, numbnuts. You admitted before a Foreign Relations Committee that you and Obama agreed not to give money to Ukraine until an investigator is fired. Why are you requesting that investigator to be fired? Is it because you feel like he's corrupt? Why? Why are you trying to play in the hands of Ukraine affair? Why are you meddling in their affairs? Since y'all want to talk about meddling in our affairs, why you want to meddle in Ukraine affairs? Why are you dangling money as a carrot over the head of the Ukrainian people who need that money? All because of the investigator. Well, come to find out, the same investigator was investigating Burisma Holdings, which his son sits on the board of, for what? Wait for it. corruption. Now, if you said that, yet Trump inquires about finding out who brought up dirt on him, who tried to set him up to get impeached from the beginning, he has every right to find out who did that. And then if down the line while I'm in Ukraine, I find out about some dirty stuff that government officials done here, he has every right to have the FBI investigating that. He has every right to have the State Department investigate that. He has every right to have the Judicial Department investigating that. So why do you think you get to have some kind of special privilege, Joe Biden? Why? Because you're Obama's vice president? No, if Obama had something to do with that, if he really did tell you it's okay to do that, then much as my people love Obama, that is wrong also. That is unethical. That may not be a high crime, but it's definitely a misdemeanor. Let me keep going. Some congressional Republicans, to shift the focus of the impeachment heart away from Trump, have argued that Biden and his own son, Hunter, must provide testimony about their engagements in Ukraine. And they should, because the whole point of this impeachment was Donald Trump was trying to look into Biden, claiming that he's trying to get dirt on his opponent. Well, right now, Biden is not opponent. Biden opponent, none of these Democrats running as his opponent, Trump's opponent right now. Until you win the nomination, then you officially become an opponent. Trump ain't worried about none of these nuts. But if you did wrong, if you used the federal government to get your way, if you did a quid pro quo, then it need to be looked into it too. I don't care who it is. Nancy Pelosi holding the impeachment letters, trying to get a quid pro quo. That is illegal. That should be illegal. It may not be illegal, but it's wrong. It may not be a high crime, but it should be a misdemeanor. If you not going ahead, you trying to hold the thing back so the process won't go forward. I believe she's doing that to keep the eye off the Iowa caucus. She probably won't release that until we find out the winner of the Iowa caucus, because they want to make sure it's not Bernie. But that's another story. Republicans to shift the focus away from impeachment heat away from Trump. I'm not saying, who says that? Who says that this whole thing can't be heat? Well, the Republicans may be trying to switch the heat from Trump to Biden. But I'm saying a real deal investigator, like a Ken Starr or whatever, no more of what's his name, Mueller. But if you get somebody to really look into it that's not biased, he should be looking into both of them and see if they committed a crime. He have argued that Biden and his son Hunter must provide testimony, and they should. I agree with him about their engagement in Ukraine. Democrats have said this is irrelevant to the question of whether Trump abused his power when he asked Ukraine President Vladimir to launch an investigation into the Bidens. Now, how is that an abuse of power for him saying, look, do me a favor? Do me a favor doesn't sound like, look, either you're going to get this done or you ain't getting no money. It's no. You only tell somebody to do you a favor if y'all have a favorable relationship. If y'all don't have a favorable relationship, you don't say, do me a favor. You say, here, look, here's what I'm going to do. If you don't get this done, you ain't getting this. That's what Joe Biden did. That's what he claimed President Obama did. But no, Trump said, look, I heard some things going on. I heard about the server. They say the server is in Ukraine. I need to investigate why these people tried to get me out of office, coming up with these lies and schemes. I need to find out who's behind it, because I need them. I need to call them out, and I need them prosecuted. They can look into me, and I can't look into you. Get GTFOH. Get out of here. So, all right. So in my 40 years of public office, I've always complied with the lawful order. In my 8 years of VP, my office, you just admitted as VP, you held the money back with Obama's permission. How in the world people can't say that's not a quid pro quo? We're going to hold it back unless he's fired. Well, son of a gun, he was fired. And they released the money. Unlike Donald Trump and Mike Pence cooperating with legitimate congressional oversight requests, Biden tweeted, But I'm just not going to pretend that there is any legal basis for Republican subpoenas for my testimony in impeachment trial. Well, how come it was a legal basis to impeach Trump on hearsay, she say? Trump witnesses was not able to testify in that impeachment trial. It's one-sided. And most of the Democrats picked their people that they wanted to show up for trial. All this stuff was he say, she say. No documented evidence. You couldn't use the transcript because the transcript didn't have a smoking gun in it. The transcript sounded like a regular conversation. Jared Nadler lying. And then you got Adam Schiff just lying, trying to Trump talk when the transcript clearly states to you what Trump actually said in that situation. He's going to term it in a mob boss type talk and say it on TV, and people sitting up there believing that instead of reading the actual transcript, which was nothing like that. Now, like I said, I'm not a fan of Trump, but you know me, I'm going to always try to defend what is right. Whether it's right by the country, whether it's right spiritually, whether it's right mentally or physically, I'm always going to stand on the side of righteousness. And what the Democrats are doing right now is not righteousness. You get Trump, you get him the right way. Come up with some more articles, but these two should have been thrown out. These two's going to clear them. The Republicans are going to say, this is bullcrap. Y'all just trying to witch hunt, and we ain't going to participate in it. And that's why I totally voted present, and I understand that, and throw the trash out. Now, if you get some articles of impeachment really on this guy like the Monument Clause, well, then they probably throw that out because all of them guilty of that. But let's keep going. Donald Trump might first cooperate with legitimate congressional oversight, but I'm just not going to pretend that there is any legal basis. It ain't got nothing to do with legal basis or not, man. Show up and defend yourself, but you get mad because Trump wouldn't show up. It's okay for you, but it's not okay for him. It's not okay for Republican subpoena for my testimony. Yes, they should. They should question you. You should not be able to not be questioned on this. And when people in the news audience question you, you're going to get pissed off, get mad, and you're going to try to throw it on Trump. Answer the doggone questions. When an elderly man at one of your town halls question you about it, you start talking about, I'm in shape, let's do some push-up and all kind of other crap. That is the point I was making yesterday, and I reiterate, this impeachment is about Trump conduct, not mine. No, this impeachment was as a result of Trump trying to look into you. It's as everything has to do with you. And because they looked into you, they trying to get him because he looked into you. Because if he look into you, he can look into the rest of them. And all I'm trying to come together to stop Trump from having that kind of power to look into you, to investigate you if you do wrong. If you do wrong, I don't give a crap who you are. You should be able to be looked into. So he have every right, and you have every right to testify if they need to testify. Who in the blue hell and heaven are you to say you should be exempt from testifying in an impeachment case when the bottom line of these articles of impeachment was abuse of power and and I forgot the other one, digging up dirt on his a so-called political appointment. Misdemeanors. Biden, a Democratic presidential candidate, first asserted that he would not participate in the trial several weeks ago and reiterated his stance from Friday during an interview with the Des Moines Register editorial board. Biden said that if he agreed to testify, it would shift the narrative from Trump behavior. You doggone right. You doggone right. Why? Because you know you did wrong. You confess you did wrong. You bragged about doing it. You said you got Obama-Silo approval of doing it. And what you did worked. They got the guy fired. And the heat was off of Barishma. And the heat was off of potentially Hunter Biden. Who still to this day, I don't know how in the world that he got this particular job when he got kicked out of the military for snorting coke. And he have that habit still. I bet you test him right now, he probably doped up. And sleeping around with women, hey, if you're single, sleep around your women, you do whatever you want to do. That's your life. But dude was married with children. You know, I don't condone that. Dude tried to get with his brother's wife after his brother died, and Biden approved of that. Man, let me keep going. You guys are going to cover the 3 weeks. You guys are going to cover for 3 weeks anything that I said, and Trump's going to get away with what he said. I don't know what to say to Biden. You guys are going to cover for 3 weeks anything that I said, and Trump's going to get away with what he said. Well, what did Trump say? Go read the transcripts. Trump didn't say nothing to me that seemed like a crime. He just said, hey, do me a favor. Heard some things was going on between the United States and the Democrats and stuff like that. See if you can get anything. See if you got anything on that. Check that out for me. Investigate that for me. It didn't matter who it was. It's not just Biden. It's the whole DNC if they had something to do with that PP dossier and all that kind of stuff. Because this stuff took a lot away from actual stuff getting done on behalf of the House, Senate, and the Democrats. Why? Because the House and Senate was so trying their best to delegitimize Trump presidency. So they should look into that. They should investigate that. Biden, you should testify. I know you're worried that the focus is going to be on you. It should be on you. It's been on Trump all this time. Now the focus needs to be on you and what you actually did. That video need to be played. It's all over the internet. You're not going to get rid of it. It's everywhere. And I'm quite sure everybody and their mama done downloaded it. Because this is something you said proudly out your mouth. You understand? Biden is nervous. Why are you nervous, Biden? You guys are going to cover for 3 weeks anything that I said. Why not? What you said was way more of a quid pro quo than what Trump said. Trump asked for a favor. You said, look, I'm going to hold this up. You said you're not going to get the money. You said out of your mouth, you are not going to get the money until he fired. That's a bribe. That's a quid pro quo. At the heart of Trump's defense is the unsubstantiable claim that Biden pressured the Ukraine government to fire his top prosecutor to protect his son, who served on the board of Ukrainian energy company that had been under investigation, thus justifying his asking Zelensky to launch a probe. What's wrong with that? Where is that a crime? You got the vice president, a public official, using his abusing his power to hold money back from Ukraine until somebody gets fired. You telling me that is not a high crime? It's definitely a misdemeanor. On Twitter and at political rallies, Trump often claimed that there was something nefarious in Hunter Biden taking the position while his father was vice president. And it was. I still to this day say, how in the world did you get this job? In America, you wouldn't have been able to get jobs. The only way you're going to get jobs, Hunter Biden, is because of your father. You have a history of not being, by doing wrong by your family, by your nefarious lifestyle, by your drug use. You got kicked out of the military for drug use. You got a record, man. Tell me what has Hunter Biden done that his father's position didn't help him get that position. It's just the way it is, just like Meghan McCain. Think she'll be on The View if John McCain wasn't her father? What did she do? Why is she not the president of Anheuser-Busch or Budweiser, whatever beer empire she's linked to? Same thing with Chelsea Clinton. How did Chelsea get all these jobs? Now, don't get me wrong. Chelsea is a little brainiac, but she getting all these jobs. Same thing with Janet Bush and all them. How did they get their jobs? The subpoena should go to witnesses with testimony to offer to Trump shaking down the Ukraine government. They should go to the White House, Biden tweeted. No, the subpoena should go to to the reason for the impeachment. From the start to the beginning, subpoenas should go out. White House officials and Trump allies ignore House subpoenas to testify in the impeachment inquiry at Trump's direction. Who said Trump directed them? What evidence do you have that Trump told them not to testify? It's their choice whether to testify, just like it's Biden's choice to testify. And if you don't testify, then they should put a bench warrant out for you. The House voted on December 18th to impeach Trump on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, not justice, Congress. The Senate will hold a trial to determine whether to remove Trump from office once House Speaker Nancy Pelosi sends the article. She has been holding on to them in all effort to force Senate Republicans to compromise with Democrats. Quid pro quo. She's doing the very thing that they accused Trump of doing that Joe Biden actually did. The Senate will hold a trial to determine whether to remove Trump from office once House Speaker Nancy Pelosi send the articles. She has been holding on to them in an effort to force Senate Republicans to compromise with Democrats on the perimeters of a Senate trial. That is what you call a quid pro quo. That's what you call blackmail in my book. You ain't getting this until you do things my way. Guys, look here. Number one, Biden, who the hell are you? You can go and look into Trump and they can't look into you? Especially when the whole purpose of Trump being impeached was because they claimed he was looking into see if you committed crimes, which is nothing wrong, which is not illegal. If you figured somebody committed a crime, you should investigate. But no, you want to use this lame excuse saying we finally got him. We can say he's trying to dig dirt up on his opponent. Digging dirt up on your opponent is not yet legal, number one, because Hillary Clinton did it. So if Trump should go be impeached, then Hillary Clinton should at least go to trial for her digging dirt. The whole Democratic Party should go to trial for digging dirt on their opponent. And why is it digging up dirt? If your opponent did wrong and you can find out, you can get evidence of them doing wrong, why is that wrong? Why is getting dirt on your opponent when the opponent got dirt? If I catch you laying in a sandbox full of sand, then there's sand on you, bro. So guys, please keep an open mind about this impeachment trial. I want Trump gone. I don't want a Trump replaced with a corporate Democrat. So you got to understand about blacks in dealing with white supremacy. We like our white supremacy up front in our face because we know how to deal with you. You're not incognito. You're not stealthy. You're not invisible. We see you. We know you're racist, so we know how to deal with you. Especially when you're on the opposite side of the aisle. Or in my case, on the opposite side of both aisles, because I'm not a Democrat or Republican and never will be, ever. But at least you know who to keep your eye on. But when you got these people, when you joining and siding with these white supremacists, and for some reason you think they got your back when they don't, such as Joe Biden, who never really had the back of black people. Just because he was Obama's vice president does not mean he had the back of black people. And he want to use the black vote to ride on this, and my older black voters are so uneducated. Yeah, I'm telling you that, older black people. Get out of your pictures of Obama sitting on your wall and get out and look at the records of your politician. Go look at the record of Joe Biden and see what Joe Biden's crime bill has done to all your nieces and your nephews and your cousins and your uncles or somebody that you know. Go look at the busing policies. There's a whole bunch of things you can look at Biden on. Get out of that. This man is not your friend. Trump's not your friend either. But at least you know that. You actually believe this guy's your friend, and behind your back, he's stabbing you in the back. Well, he's doing little cut wounds. You got to get out of that. I challenge any elder black to investigate Joe Biden's record and tell me that you're going to freely vote for him. Now, you'd probably vote for him over Trump if it came to it. I wouldn't. I wouldn't vote for neither one of those turkeys. I'm not voting on people whose intention is to harm my community. And Joe Biden's intention is to harm my community. Look how he treat his own people. Look how he treat elderly whites, Hispanics, and even some blacks. He's only kissing our behind to get votes. He's not going to do a doggone thing for us. Now, let me get to this point, and I'm done. You guys do whatever you want to do. And I'm going to be talking on the almost little split between the ADOS faction, and I'm telling people, stop making these people your heroes. Stop making Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore your leaders. Stop making Professor Black Truth your leaders and the Black Authority your leaders. I'm not telling you not to listen to them, watch them. See, I'm like this. I could stomach just about any preacher that preach. I can see if I can find something good in them, and I can eat that part. The rest of it, I'm not eating. See, I have what they call discernment. And discernment say, I can listen to this guy, but I know when to cut him off when he's going too far. I ain't got to listen to all the BS you say out of your mouth. Most of the time, you can be saying some good things and then go over the BS. I'm known for doing that. I can do that to you. I tell people, you ain't got to take heed to everything I say. Don't even believe everything I say. But if, eat the meat, spit out the bones. There's certain things about Professor Black Truth that I love. Certain things about Black Authority I love. Their stance on what certain things we need to do to make sure we start elevating ourselves in this white dominant society. And I eat that meat. Then I spit out the bones. Like, for an example, how he deal with callers. That's his thing. I'm not going to do like that. His posture, educational wise, that's his thing. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not siding with that either. And then think about Antonio Moore and the Claude Anderson, things like that, and Yvette. It's the same thing with that. I don't 100% just agree with everything they say. There's some things I take and I eat the meat and spit out the bones. And people say, you need to take a side. I'm not taking side, nobody's side. My side is with my people. And wherever you guys agree, that's where I'm going to build from. If y'all got some disagreements, that's on y'all. Y'all work that out. But the things that y'all agree on, that's where I'm going to come in. Like I still say to this day, if you don't have a black agenda pre your election, and if you're not communicating what you're going to do for the black community pre your election, you don't deserve my vote. Now, this is me personally. I'm not telling everybody they don't deserve your vote. That's your choice. You got to make that decision whether they deserve your vote or not. I mean, if you want to be a slut voter, that's you. I'm not going to be a slut voter. But as for me, if you don't have a concrete agenda and you're talking about an agenda, especially when you're around my people in numbers, then I'm not supporting you. I don't care who you are. I don't care how great of a platform you are. If my people's mission is not on that platform, then count me out, like New Edition. You can count me out. And the same thing go for the down ballot. I'm not voting the down ballot just to send a message to the Democratic Party. No, I'm not trying to send a message to no Democratic Party because I'm not a Democrat. I'm sending a message to Democrats and Republicans in the whole Washington, D.C. If you're not doing nothing for black people, kiss my behind. If you don't have no agenda, I'm not voting for neither one of you. And I don't vote the lesser of two evils. And the same thing with the down ballot. As a judge, I want to know how you view my community. Judges should be talking to their community. Judges should be having town halls. City councilmen, everybody. What you got going on for my people? Are you going to be vicious and locking my people up? Let me see what your record is. What your record is, Judge. When it comes to civil court, when it comes to criminal court, what is your record? So anyway, I'm getting off. This is about Joe Biden. I'll talk about that in another video. My name is Robert Brown. I'll holler at you later. Peace.